Hey guys, what's going on? It's Sean of Third Railify, and I hope you're having a beautiful day today. So, Mark Zuckerberg, the Zuckerbot, the Zuckerborg, I don't know. It- It's Zuckerberg, he's weird. He has come out and he has said that Facebook and Instagram will not be doing censoring anymore. It's done, it's over. They're firing third party censorship people, like the fact checkers. I'm on the one hand, good, but on the other hand, that's kind of sad because when you see a third party fact checker go fact check false, you immediately already know fact check true. So, I mean, I guess it's going to take a little bit more time to dive into stuff instead of immediately just assuming the opposite of what they say because they were always wrong. So Mark Zuckerberg's stunning censorship admission as he seeks to suck up to Donald Trump. Well, I mean, in one way, yes, he's sucking up, but in another way, he's actually doing what's right. But mostly, I suspect it's because he's sucking up. But also, the national mood has changed, right? Trump is going back in office with a massive victory, and we're kind of tired of the way that it was. So Mark Zuckerberg admitted that Meta and Facebook censored conservative opinions on an industrial scale, but has now vowed to make both its sites beacons of free speech. Now, I gotta tell you, a part of this really grinds my gears because they censored conservative opinions on an industrial scale, but now they're free speech. That Trump's in office. So the liberals are going to say all of the Blumenon conspiracies, all of the liberal nonsense that probably should be censored. That's that's now going to be out there free. The way that our conservative nonsense that actually turned out to be true, was censored. So we got shut down for 4 years, and now the boot is off the neck, and everyone can just go wild. I feel like we're getting screwed here. In a 5-minute video message shared to his Facebook profile, the 40-year-old said that we're going back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression to our platforms. Because what happened was it was always the conservatives censored, and then when there was an outrage, whoops, it was a mistake. Who knew we could make so many of those? More specifically, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. Now, that's kind of a big deal there, but for a little while there, community notes on X did absolutely get hijacked by the left, and nothing that needed a community note from the left got one because the left sort of ran it. But then things that didn't need one, they managed to get one. And it was a really sort of messy system for a while. It seems to have balanced itself back out, which is good. But I wonder if the community notes on Facebook and Instagram will have similar issues. And it's also funny. I should point out that now X, what Elon Musk, you know how Elon Musk was killing Twitter. Twitter was going to be dead. Oh, X won't survive. Now it's the what seems to be the gold standard, the standard bearer of what social media platforms should be. Although I will say currently there is some serious issues on X. It's almost feeling like Twitter 1.0 again. So I don't think we'll ever really be over that hump. Turns out BlackRock and many other big organizations that have influence, they have their hands in all of the cookie jars, like Vanguard and State Street or whoever, those companies. They they bought significant investment into X, and then X got funny. Imagine that. So, like X, the shift will allow users on the sites to call out posts that are potentially misleading and need more context. Zuckerberg pointed to the election being a major influence in the move and took a shot at governments and legacy media for pushing to censor more. In 2019, Zuckerberg came out and he was like, "Oh, we're gonna be more free speech because that's maybe a good thing." And then governments and legacy media and leftist employees and leftists in general were like, "No, censor more," and then they caved to the pressure. He said the company would work to bring more political content back to the timeline of users and give them the option to customize how much they see of it. So with Biden in office, you weren't allowed to see the content because they said, no, we don't need politics. But now Trump's back in office. Yes, liberals, you're allowed to bitch about Donald Trump and it allowed to be everywhere. It's not convenient. I guess late is better than never. The announcement comes as fellow CEOs and business leaders look to curry favor with the incoming commander in chief, President elect Donald Trump. He said the recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. The fact that we ever got to a point where we were prioritizing the censorship, that's amazing. We should go back to that, analyze it, and then do one of those never again kind of things. Never again will we go back into what was sort of like the dark ages of speech. Do you guys remember when we couldn't talk about the COVID injection? Oh yeah, that time is now still. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes and simplifying our policies and restoring free expression on our platforms. We've seen this approach work on X, where they empower their community to decide when posts are potentially misleading and need more context, and people across a diverse range of perspectives decide what sort of context is helpful for others to see. But once again, Elon Musk and X coming to the rescue, I guess, becoming the standard bearer. Everyone will be like that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Zuckerberg added that the new approach was less prone to bias as a reason for the move. Meta will also simplify its own policies to get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse because immigration is kind of an important topic right now. But also, when the deportations start, the left is going to want to talk about it, and they're going to want to talk about it on Facebook and on Instagram. And let's be honest, if they can't talk about deportation on these platforms, they're going to talk about it on Blue Sky and on X. A part of this is to keep people on these platforms on Facebook and Instagram. People are naturally going to gravitate to where the speech is free, and it's not free on Facebook and Instagram. So let's we're not under any illusion here that this is for the goodness out of Zuckerberg's heart. His platforms are dying. The changes will affect Facebook and Instagram, two of the largest social media sites in the world that boast billions of users, as well as Threads. Since sharing the policy shift on Tuesday morning, social media users have been reacting to the news with split opinions. One person posted Zuckerberg has fully switched teams. It's a very big deal. He oversees 60% of U.S. social media. What triggered this? Although Ben Shapiro said Zuckerberg spelled out his vision of free speech at Georgetown in 2019 to the consternation and shock of the left. Facebook then proceeded to cave, engaging in mass censorship. The tide has turned good for Zuckerberg. Another posted that he's a human weather vane. The wind blows one way. That's what he says. The wind changes direction. Now he says that. Yeah, that's sort of how it is. But Zuckerberg did recently donate $1 million to Trump's inaugural fund in a complete reversal on the past relations between the two. But also, Monday, Zuckerberg added Dana White to Meta's board of directors in another olive branch to Trump. Last week, Meta also named Joel Kaplan, an executive with deep GOP connections, as its president of global affairs. Speaking on Fox News on Tuesday morning, Kaplan said that societal shifts in the last 4 years had brought about the change. He said, well, there's no question that things that happened at Meta are coming from Mark. There's also no question that there has been a change over the last 4 years. We saw a lot of societal and political pressure, all in the direction of more content moderation, more censorship. And we've got a real opportunity now. We've got a new administration and a new president coming in who are big defenders of free expression, and that makes a difference. Kaplan also said the company would be working closely with President elect Trump moving forward to protect the First Amendment and U.S. companies. One part of his 5-minute speech that isn't in here is Mark Zuckerberg saying how he's actually going to help Donald Trump and other companies like X promote free speech around the world. So you have companies like France or Brazil, or countries like France or Brazil. I mean, Germany is really bad. England is really bad at, demanding censorship. And so, Meta is going to, I guess, join the fight and try and get free speech everywhere and push back, because this policy is going to inflame a lot of countries' rules. And these countries are going to say, well, you're going to censor, or you're going to, be kicked out of the country. Well, imagine if you have Rumble that's kicked out of a country, and X that's kicked out of a country, and Facebook and Instagram. You're not going to have a whole lot left. Maybe one day YouTube will get on this bandwagon. They won't ever, because, I mean, Google, right? But I mean, this is good news. It's good to see. Let's not pretend it's altruistic reasons and all that stuff like that. It's self-serving, but sometimes that can benefit a lot of people. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate your time, and see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.